probably saw that already. I mean, I blew the surprise, right? I did that. But we're starting off with the Pleiadians. Now, I'm starting off light on you guys, right? The Pleiadians, out of everybody here, these are the guys that you could trust, right? These are the Pleiadians, right? The Pleiadians you can trust because they're basically here to help us. Now, the Pleiadians come from a very specific star system called the Pleiades star cluster, right? And I'm going to show you this Pleiades star cluster because it's important when you guys be able to look into the night sky. You can't say you didn't learn anything today from now. You can't say that you didn't come over here and didn't learn something today. Let me pull this up for you guys, right? All right, so when you see this, the Pleiades star cluster, it's called the Seven Sisters, right? This is the star cluster you got to be up on. You have to be up on this one, right? Because it's linked into so many mythologies, okay? This is real talk. This is linked, like the Taurus star system is linked to Aldebaran. Aldebaran is within this. That is said to be where the Aesir, right? Where the Greek gods are said to come from is Aldebaran. I believe that's the name of it, Aldebaran. Now, the Vanir, remember, if you listen to the story, if you read the Norse mythology, they talk about two sets of gods, right? They talk about the Aesir. Those are the ones that we know about. That's Thor, that's Odin, right? That's those, Balder, right? They're all Aesir. The Vanir live among them. They have been at war. I'm trying to think of any Vanir names. I can't think of one, but they're woven in there. Like basically those two halves that got into a big war, and then they stalled it out. So like they were Vanir that lived among the Aesir or the Asgardians, right? So they're said to be there from this Pleiades star cluster. So you're saying the Aesir, the Asgardians, are from Alderaan, and I'll look that up just to kind of clarify that, right? But these guys are said to be from the Pleiades star cluster, which is in the same. They're all in the Taurus star system, I guess is the name, right? They're all in the Taurus star system. So these guys are considered to be deities in a lot of mythologies. Like in a lot of mythologies, they're straight up called like gods, right? And what they're rooted in, though, is basically being pretty mellow. Like even among the Aesir, they weren't violent like the Aesir, right? I'm gonna move this out of here, right? They weren't violent like that. They are said to be more about guidance, observations, and advancing civilization. So they don't really get down like that. These are tall humanoid figures. Like they look like really nice Nordic people, right? Like all the tall, like a bunch of Swedes in spaceships, right? They're all nice. They're tall. They're like super fair complected, right? And they're described as these originating from the star cluster, and they're associated with just like helping long-term development of cultures. This is kind of what they say about them, right? In like this grand theology of like, I guess we call it like alien conspiracy theory and like, mythology, because this is where these guys meet. This is a great example of how these two like belief systems meet: mythology and alien conspiracy theories. And they run neck and neck, man. Like we do a lot of movies about gods. Like there's a lot of shit about gods all the time. But it's a lot of stuff about aliens too, man. Like we got to be really real. We got to dig in and talk about like how we actually feel, because we attribute real stuff to these aliens. When I get through, I'm going to break down what gets attributed to who, because there are some kidnappings and stuff. So we got to be up on these. So these guys here, these are the nice guys. They said they monitor us. They're probably gods. I'm trying to think if I've seen any reference to them. I don't know if I've seen any references to these guys in any real myths. But this ancient cluster, they're linked in Greek mythology, indigenous mythology. I immediately said the Seven Sisters because the Seven Sisters is like an Inuit myth. And basically in this mythology, oh man, I was going to break down this mythology, but then I realized I don't really know it that well, right? All I know is that there is the Seven Sisters, and somehow like this is a constellation that they pray to. That's what I know about it. So I'm a little limited on that, but I immediately did have Seven Sisters in my brain noodle, so that's not bad. So at least I was there, right? And the Pleiades star system, like the UFO discourse part of it, like it's definitely linked in the ancient mythology. Like this star system was pointed to in Greek culture as well. So it goes way back in how long people have been talking about it. So in terms of aliens, they're what I call deep in the streets, right? On the alien scale. They've also really been reinvented in the 50s and 1950s here in the United States, and people started talking about them. Like they really expanded. Like a lot of the New Age stuff. Like if you want to learn about the Pleiadians, talk to New Age people, because New Age people are all up on it. It's kind of crazy. I wouldn't have thought like you guys are all New Age people are all up on a specific alien, like enough that they can kind of tell you about it. They'll tell you the star systems. They'll kind of track that stuff for you. Like they actually know what's going on with them. And that's the thing about these guys here is that they've crossed over. So they're in like because they're said to be associated with reaching enlightenment. That's where they enter into like the New Age, realm. Now, people have linked them to lots of different types of contacts, including like telepathic communications. They'll see them in like UFO sightings where they're observing humans, right? They have all these common narratives about how they see us, how they interact, like, but they're generally like good information. There's really a development of awareness. There's never any like aggressive. There's never any aggression with these. So we can reasonably say if you meet a Pleiadian, again, I know what I'm saying, but here's the thing: if you meet a Pleiadian, more than likely you're going to be all right. More than likely, right? Per the mythology, right? And these guys generally just want things to be cool, so they're reflected in a lot of our culture, like the Chili Peppers. Red Hot Chili Peppers talk about the Pleiadians in at least two of their songs. Like I'm a big Chili Peppers fan, right? Like I went to college in Southern California. Like I graduated like '94 or something like that in Southern California, man. So like I mess with the Chili Peppers, right? I know all about the Chili Peppers. Who also messed with my man George Clinton? Who I know George Clinton. Like I actually have conversation with George Clinton. Okay. So we still talk about the Pleiadians in actual songs and literature and cultures. So they're always around, right? So they're always around. But these are your friendly guys here. Like you don't really have to worry about these guys. They're really here to kind of try and put you up on game, right? To try to teach you some things, right? Now the next one I want to talk about is the Greys. Now the Greys are a little different, and the Greys we know about as well, right? The Greys are more of that classic look, right? This is kind of the classic alien look of the alien Greys. And the reason I say these guys are always around, and they're deep too, man. Like, the Greys are way out there in mythology, man. They are deep, deep, deep out in mythology. See if I